We welcome you to the Tuesday, October 16th, 2012 Village of Peoria Heights Board of Trustees meeting. Meeting is now called to order. Would you please rise and join us in the pledge of the flag? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn?
Present.
Trustee Carter?
Present.
Trustee Fuller?
Present.
Trustee Reichert?
Present.
Trustee Gett? Trustee Cumming?
Present.
Thank you very much. Our first order of business tonight is the approval of the Board of Trustees minutes for the October 2nd, 2012 meeting. Are there any changes that need to be made to the minutes as submitted?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion from Trustee Carter.
Second.
Second from Trustee Cumming. All those in favor of approving the Board of Trustees minutes for the October 2nd, 2012 meeting as submitted by our village clerk, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no. Thank you. The ayes have it. Board has approved the minutes as submitted for October 2nd meeting. It will be a little difficult tonight without Trustee Gett here to make motions for the minutes and for the adjournment, so everyone be ready for that. Next up, we have correspondence, and that will be presented by our village clerk, Shauna Musselman.
I have one item this evening. First, I just want to tell the board that it was my fault the minutes weren't in the packet, not Sarah's, so please don't hold that against her. Okay, I have one item this evening, and it is from Jennifer Wilfong, the Can Do 413 Scholarship Fund founder, and it's dated September 12th, 2012, and it reads as follows. I wanted to personally thank you for allowing us to hold our 10th annual Can Do 413 Walk and 5K at Tower Park, and for providing the assistance of the police department. More than $5,000 was raised for the Can Do 413 Scholarship Fund through sponsorships and personal contributions. This is our main fundraiser for the $1,000 Can Do scholarships that former Irving School fourth graders will be awarded when they graduate from high school and transition to post-secondary institutions. Approximately 375 former Irving students have received the $1,000 Can Do Scholarship Promise due to generous contributions over the last 10 years. The first class of students graduated in May of 2011. In total, the fund has raised more than $250,000. Your assistance, September 8th, helped make the day the success it was. Thank you so very much. It's been a pleasure to work with your village. And then she also wrote at the bottom, also, Sarah did a super job of communicating proactively before the event so that all went smoothly.
Thank you very much. Good job, Sarah. By the time this meeting's over with, you two are going to have your heads about the size of... Casey, I know he was involved a little bit, but maybe a little growth. We'll wait for later for that. Next up, announcements. Have none tonight. So we will move directly to trustee reports. And first up, be Trustee Fuller with the ambulance service.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. I have nothing to report this evening.
Okay, thank you. Move to Public Works with Trustee Harn.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. I have nothing to report this evening.
Any word on the wood chips? Are they still?
That's ongoing. We always have wood chips. I think we'll have those for life. We have a lifetime supply.
All right. Okay. Any questions at all for Trustee Harn? Okay. Thank you again. We'll go to Administration Personnel with Trustee Reichert.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to report that the observation tower will be open for fall hours through Sunday, October 28th, 2012. The hours will remain Friday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. After this date, the tower will be closed until next spring. And that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions at all for Trustee Reichert?
What was that date again?
October 28th is when the fall hours start. Oh, I'm sorry. Through October 28th.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions at all for Trustee Reichert? All right. Thanks again. We'll move to Economic Development and Village Improvements with Trustee Carter.
Thank you. I just want to remind everybody so they can mark their calendars now for the Peoria Heights Christmas Walk is scheduled for Saturday, December 1st, and the Chocolate in the Heights will be Saturday, December 8th. So if you could mark your calendars then. And then November, we have our Veterans Day Parade, November 10th. And then we're
Okay.
going to get to the chocolate walk.
Right.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions at all for trustee Carter?
Do they light the tree on the Christmas walk?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah.
first?
the first.
Okay.
this year.
Yeah.
I gotta get more stuff
So you got to have it up by
Yeah.
December 1st, before.
Okay.
Get your boys on it.
Sarah and Stephanie have applied for it.
I can tell by the looks there that that was made up.
That was It's only 25 foot high.
You have a bucket truck, though.
Yep.
Any other questions at all for trustee Carter? Okay, thank you again. We'll move to the police department with trustee Cumming.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. I just have my usual announcement about the Neighborhood Watch meeting. Next one will be Monday, the 29th, right up here at Village Hall at 6:30 p.m. I'd like to encourage all the residents to come out and let us know if you have any police or code enforcement issues in your neighborhood. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions at all for trustee Cumming? Right, thank you. Trustee Gett, not here tonight, obviously, so Mr. Administrator, any word on building maintenance?
None that I'm aware of tonight, Mr. Mayor.
And is there any word on the fire department you're aware of?
No, except I did take a brief tour of the dispatch area. I think they're back there kind of cleaning that out and kind of making it their own space. So at some point, I'm sure we'll have an unveiling or an update from Chief Walters on that as well.
Okay, great. Any questions from the board at all regarding building maintenance or the fire department? Okay, thank you again, everybody. Comments from the audience? If you have a concern or comment?
Trustee Fuller looks great.
You know what, now that you mention it, he does. Looks refreshed and happy, and
We never have comments, I'll have to put that in a minute.
yeah, put that in the minutes. Casey Whitbrecht, W-I-T-B-R-A-C-H-T.
I thought it was Keith Urban.
Any other questions or comments from the audience? Well, we do thank you all for attending. No old business tonight, so we're going to move to new business. We have a small business Saturday proclamation. Okay, this is going to be November 21st is going to be recognized. I believe it's a nationwide.
I think it's the
Type thing.
27th this year.
Is it the
It's the
27th?
Saturday after Thanksgiving, so it should be the 27th, right?
No. I
Oh,
know
it's Saturday.
it is earlier.
Is it, the 20th would be the Saturday before?
24th is the Saturday after.
Oh,
Yeah, the 24th is the actual date, I believe.
so it wouldn't be the 21st?
Correct, it is the 24th.
24th, okay.
But as usual, we like to do things early here in
Oh,
the
we're
Heights.
getting to jump on the competition.
Yes.
Right.
So we will,
This, Wednesday.
and fortunately, a 1 can be turned into a 4 very easily.
All right.
So bear with me. I'm going to read this all the way through because we have quite a few things on the agenda tonight. But bear with me. We have a Village of Peoria Heights proclamation regarding the Small Business Saturday, which we now know is November 24th, but it says, whereas the Village of Peoria Heights believes that small businesses are the backbone of our economy and the glue that holds communities together, and whereas, according to the U.S. Small Business Administration, there are currently 28 million small businesses in the United States, and small businesses have created 65% of net new jobs over the past 2 decades, and whereas the Village of Peoria Heights supports its local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our neighborhoods, and whereas advocacy groups and public and private organizations across the country have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. When, Thanksgiving is the 22nd? Okay, all right, okay, I had, well, excuse me, I had a moment there. Better, okay. Whereas residents of our communities and communities across the country are being asked to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year, therefore I, Mark Allen, Mayor of the Village of Peoria Heights, do hereby proclaim November 24th as Small Business Saturday in the Village of Peoria Heights. And in witness hereof, whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the, boy, that's a mouthful, of Peoria Heights, Illinois, to affix the 16th day of October in the year of our Lord, 2012. And that will be November 24th. And it's really apropos for Peoria Heights, obviously, because that is the backbone, of Peoria Heights. We have just a handful of what would be considered large businesses. So we do what we can to help out the small business owners in Peoria Heights, and they do an outstanding job in marketing and working hard to not only make their businesses prosper, but also make the village prosper along with them. So we will be signing that, and our village clerk will be putting her seal of approval on that later. And we will now move on to the next order of new business is a Chalk the Walk update, and that will be presented by Trustee Carter.
Thank you. Our Sarah and Stephanie put this together, so we'll call them up so they can go over it, but I have only heard positive things of this, and as you can see, everybody has in their folder the drawings that the artist did, so you take it over.
First of all, we really wanted to thank you guys for approving. I was afraid you were going to make me do that. We really wanted to thank you guys for approving and allowing us to use Tower Park. I know that the artists really enjoyed the opportunity to go up in the observation tower and view their work from up above. It also created the opportunity for us to take some really neat pictures, which are on our Facebook page. And we're going to be creating a separate Facebook page for Peoria Heights Chalk the Walk as a place where we can keep more of the pictures. We ended up with almost 400 pictures between the two of us of the event, so kind of a lot. We ended up with 18 artists. We ended up with 18 squares and 24 artists. We started with 14 squares when we signed up because of the article that we had in the Journal Star, and also due to the interview that WEEK and HOI were kind enough to produce and air on Thursday and Friday. We had 4 people show up and ask if they could participate at the last minute, and we said, sure thing. Pick a space, take some chalk, go have fun. And they produced some incredible pieces, especially considering that they pretty much came at the last minute and pulled them out of their brains. Everything that we heard over the course of the weekend, and we did hear lots of comments from people who had attended and also from the artists, was very positive. Everyone enjoyed themselves and said that they would really like to see the event continue. So we're hoping to do it again next year, possibly a different weekend since the weather was a little iffy. Overall, we ended up getting sponsorships and donations from attendees that equaled about half the cost of the festival. There were a fair number of one-time expenses. We had to purchase additional chalk so that the artists would have sufficient supply. We purchased wooden boards for plaques so that the attendees would know who they were looking at and also be able to vote for People's Choice and People's Choice Award. We also purchased pool noodles, which are a great tool for blending the chalk into the sidewalk so you don't end up with cuts all over your fingers. All of those will be kind of one-time expenses, so the cost will be even less next year. Additionally, we were approached during the course of the weekend by a gentleman who is local and told us that he used to do a kind of Chalk the Walk in his community, in his neighborhood. He said he would really like us to contact him. He left his contact information. He said he would really like to do some sponsorship next year with the festival. So we're receiving not only comments from attendees, but we're also receiving financial support and contributions from them as well. So overall, I'd say it was pretty successful. We had 400 people that we know of based on the number of votes that we received, and we know that not everyone who attended voted. So overall, I would say probably at least 500 actually attended, but we can account for 400. Are there any questions about the events, comments, concerns?
You did a great job. You and Sarah did an outstanding job.
Thank you.
I don't know what Casey did, but I'm sure he did great too. But especially for an inaugural event, I mean, this is just fantastic.
We were very pleased.
I was really pleasantly surprised with the caliber of the art. I mean, some of these are just, you can almost chisel them out and put them up in an art gallery because the people are very talented. And it clearly kind of clicked with a number of people because there was a lot of interest brought out. And you mentioned the 500 people were here, but I'll bet you there were at least a few hundred more that came the next couple days after that.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Maybe more.
For about a week afterwards, we have been commenting on the people who came Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, especially the first couple days before it rained to check it out when the kids were off for Columbus Day. I know that a lot of people came and stopped by also, either because they had been there on Saturday and seen the start and wanted to see the end product, or they had read about it or heard about it from the Journal-Star and the television stations. So.
Yeah.
So, can I ask who is the winner in one of these pictures?
Or do you
remember
somebody can
who
show me.
The winners were, the Artist's Choice and the
Yes.
People's Choice?
Let's see. The picture that is down in this corner, the sleeve and X, that one, technically that one both Artist's Choice and People's Choice. We did restrict we restricted it so you could only win one prize. There was a $50 cash prize for each.
Yeah.
After that, the second place votes for People's Choice were so close that we ended up scrounging up an additional $25 to award an honorable mention to the third place, and People's Choice went to the second place. This one in the top corner right here of Jack Nicholson, that was honorable mention. The one in the middle row on the second, the guy on the crazy bike, that was the People's Choice that ended up with the $50 prize.
Wow. It's amazing they can do that with chalk on a sidewalk.
I mean, honestly, part of the amazing thing to me, we had people who showed up we started at 10 o'clock on Saturday. We had people who showed up at 10 o'clock on Saturday. They started, and particularly I'm thinking of one gentleman. He actually won the Artist's Choice and People's Choice. He was there almost the entire time, all weekend. He spent at least 10 hours on his piece that I know of. We had people that finished theirs in about 4 hours, and then we had ranges from everywhere in between for the amount of time it took. So some people took the full 2 days, some people took half a day, but we ended up with new artists starting on Sunday, so we constantly had somebody doing something for people to see what was going on.
Do you see this as like once a year or twice a year? Or?
I think if we try to do it twice a year, it might kind of overdo it. I would love to do it twice a year, but I'm afraid people will get burned out.
Yeah.
Once a year, yes, definitely. I've already had the artists, most of the artists I spoke to told me they want to come back. Not a single one told me they didn't. I didn't get a chance to ask everyone, though. And it says on your flyer, we had an additional 4 to 5 people, I can't remember how many, approach us, tell us they weren't able to do a piece on the fly, but they definitely want to be contacted and be informed when we do it again so that they can participate.
It'll be on the radar of a lot of people now who never thought about it before. And, I'd be very surprised if you didn't have at least 50 next year.
Yep.
So how many canvases would you say we have out there that people could work with?
Well, this is where we're going to have to start getting creative. We do have, I talked with Administrator Fick and Sarah. We all met after the event and talked about different opportunities. We could possibly get another 16 squares if we do some creative counting and we shut down half of Kingman so that they can chalk half of Kingman and the other half would be open to the residents. We don't want to keep people out of their homes, obviously, but we could shut it down to through traffic and just let the residents through one half chalk on the other half and also use that sidewalk that's kind of back behind the pavilion. I think we could get about 35, maybe 40 squares if we do that. The other opportunity is if we get the businesses, because the businesses were very interested in this. We might be able to kind of string it along. I had people ask me how long the walk was, because they thought that it was you started here and walked down somewhere. We could turn it into a literal walk where artists are kind of just spread out between here and Heritage Square. If we do that, we can, the sky's the limit, essentially.
Yeah.
We can get a lot more in.
Yeah.
Oh, great. And I know that the sidewalk areas down there are smaller,
Yes.
so
yeah.
maybe that would attract people who don't have as much time or as much skill per se,
Yeah.
but at least people would still want to go down there and take a look at it.
I mean, I have a niece and nephew that are 7 and 5. When they originally started looking, it was, ooh, watch mom do this. And by the end of the weekend, I was informed, can I have a square next year, please? So if we have an area for kids who want to express themselves, for me, this is part of what it's about, is for the kids and for the community to realize that art comes in a lot of different forms and everyone is capable of creating it.
Yeah. Well,
Good job.
you said it all. Yeah, did a great job. Thanks for all your hard work, and look forward to it next year. And I
Yeah.
think that we'll get the word out. The newspapers will pick
Yes.
up on it now. They know what
Yes.
they're dealing with, and
Yes.
I think it'll be kind of cool to get the word out early, and more people, I think, will be involved, even more so than this year. But this year was outstanding.
Yeah, honestly, I think it'll just
great.
continue to grow, so.
I'd like to personally thank Stephanie as well. I know she put a lot of her own time and some of her personal funds as well into coordinating this, and with Sarah's help as well. But I know
yeah.
Stephanie did quite a bit of work, and really, she pulled it off, and congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Did we get a plug on our little news weather cam for this?
I
Do we
don't know
know?
if we got a plug on the news weather cam, but the interview was arranged by Pat Drake and Kathy Bush, who I know is our kind of rep.
Sure, okay.
I don't know that they ever would have done that initial interview for us without the two of them, so.
Cool. Okay.
Yes, they kind of did get us
Essentially,
that.
okay, thanks.
And that was a
that's one of
fantastic
the-
interview. That was a fantastic
Yeah.
interview. You did a really good job.
Well, they spent a lot of time,
Yeah.
talking with you and getting everything on there. It was, that's one of the, I don't want to, this is in the future, but I mean, the cam thing, if you concentrate on the weather cam, it sounds pretty, oh, we're throwing money away type thing, but this is what it does. It opens the door for EEK and HOI to come down here, which otherwise, 3/4 of the time, they wouldn't. But, we're a customer now, so it's a great thing, great thing. And we are looking forward to next year. We're going to be chalking the tower. We're looking forward to it. Okay, great. And again, just great job, everybody. Stephanie and Sarah, and of course, Casey, for all your hard work on this. We appreciate that. And we'll move now to the treasurer's report, and that will be presented by our village clerk, Shauna Musselman.
Okay, this represents the bank balances for the month of September 2012. The general fund account is $716,008.65. The motor fuel account is $91,618.97. Police drug savings is $5,551.38. And tax increment finance is $15,921.73. For a grand total in the village accounts of $829,100.73. The waterworks account is $624,123.98. The service deposit account is $84,691.83. And the IEPA loan account is $250.11. For a grand total in the waterworks accounts of $709,065.92.
Okay, thank you. Any questions at all regarding the treasurer's report as read? Okay, then we will accept it as submitted by our treasurer, Cliff Brumbaugh. The next departmental committee meeting will be held Tuesday, October 23rd at 6:30 p.m. And the next Board of Trustees meeting will be held Tuesday, November 6th at 6:30 p.m. Is there any other business to come before the board this evening? Need a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Have a motion from trustee Cumming? Second from trustee Reichert. All those in favor of adjourning the meeting at this time, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no. Thank you. The ayes have it. Meeting is now adjourned, and we thank everyone for attending.